Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're gonna be making my July cover page. As you know that I make this cover page for each month in my art journal, so that's what we're gonna do. For this particular cover page I'm going to be using watercolors. As you see that the size of the page is exactly the same as my journal, so I don't want to leave any spaces at the edges, and so I cannot put any tape on the sides. So I'm using simple scotch tape as the double tape to stick the page to the board. In this way your page won't keep moving when you're painting. So stick it very well, and then we can start painting. I'm simply making a purple color that I'm going to be using. For this spread, I'm making a geometric design with Rainbow Galaxy as the theme, so I'm going to be using a lot of colors, with the darkest being purple or dark blue and the lightest being yellow. To make the geometric design, I'm using this 1 cm washi tape, which is a little smaller than the standard, which is 1.5 cm. So I'm making straight lines with it in a random manner. You can do as much as you want. Also you can use a smaller washi tape as well, like 0.5 cm, but I used 1 cm. Once you're satisfied with the design, slightly wet the page and start adding your colors. Wet the page very thoroughly because we're going to be using a wet on wet technique. Also make sure you already have your colors in mind, because for the wet and wet technique the page needs to still be wet in order to apply a very gradient color. Also I was going for a gradient theme at first, so I applied yellow in the middle, but then I remembered that I'm going to cut the center circle out, so I want all the colors in all the places, so I went for a different theme, but I'm still using the same color that I decided at first. Also you can see that if I use pink at one place, then I also add the same color, which is for example pink, on the square or triangle next to it as well. This gives it a gradual effect and the colors don't come very abruptly. Also you can see, because the page got too wet, so the paint started to appear at one place. If the paint is too much on your page, you can simply wipe it off with a tissue paper. Also I wanted to mention the materials that I'm using. So the watercolors are from a Faber-Castell. They are simple tablet paints with a 12 color set, and the paper that I'm using for the watercolors is scholar sheet, at least that's what it's called here. So I use the same scholar sheet for all of my paintings. Also it's really huge in size, so you can cut the size of however you want it. For example, in this particular spread I cut the size according to my journal page, although I should have cut a bit larger so I could tape it or mask it around the edges, but since I made that mistake already, I could not redo it. But just take it as an advice that if you are painting for your journal, make the page a bit larger, so even if you have wrong or false edges, you can cut them out later, but you should have edges to mask or the paint would go all over. Coming back to the painting, you can see that I am making the edges or the colors very gradual. The green with green, pinks with pinks, yellow with yellow. So all of the colors or match with the color on the next box or next part. We are almost done with our painting. Also the watercolors dry very quickly, and when they dry, the color lightens. So make sure that you repeat your steps or add more layers to keep the color that you want. If you want lighter shades, you do not have to repeat those or add more layers, but if you want a darker or brighter shade, then you need to add more layers in order to keep the color. So I'm just done with my painting. I'm simply adding stars now with the white paint. Add as many as you want, because it's a galaxy, so it gotta look like a galaxy. I personally love making the stars. In every painting that I have to make stars, I love that painting because I think the stars give it a complete look. It was simply colors, but then due to the stars it formed a galaxy and it looks so pretty. Now once I'm satisfied with all the stars and colors, I'm simply going to remove the tape. Also, the painting wasn't completely dry by the time I removed the tape, so I'm using the pencil cutter to cut it from the middle and then remove the tape from the middle part, because if you remove it from the edges might be too soft because of the wetness and the page might be ruined, as mine did in some places. So try to cut the tape from the middle and remove it from there instead of from the edges. Also, you can see that since I didn't mask the sides or edges, the paint ran off and it bled all the way. So even when I removed the page, you can see that the paint got all over the back side as well. Now that I have cleaned the board, I'm going to put the painting on it, and using a golden marker, I'm going to outline all of these geometric shapes. Just a disclaimer, I turned the page around a lot, so if you're dizzy because of that, I'm really sorry about it. Now you can see that at some of the parts, due to removing the tape, the paint got off as well. So the golden marker needs to be a bit more prominent over it in order to hide those marks, or you can just let them be as they are. Now I'm simply marking the center because I need to cut a circle from between. Mark the circle with a compass, and then I'm simply going to cut it out with a pencil cutter. Since I used this scholar sheet and it's a thick paper, I had to cut it or use the cutter 3 or 4 times on the same part in order for it to be separated. And yet I still couldn't separate it all together. I still had to use it at a few places in order to cut it. Now once the circle is cut, I'm going to remove the board and come to the journal. I'm going to use the cut circle for the main page and the rest of the part for the opposite page. I'm simply going to glue it with a liquid glue. See how the paint bled off of the outside or the other side of the page? That's why you need to mask it along the sides, which I of course didn't. It was a mistake on my side. Okay, once this is stuck, I'm coming to the main cover page. I'm not going to glue the circle for now. Since the page looks very empty, I'm going to be using some washi tapes on the corners in order to fill the page or for it to not look very empty. Since it's a rainbow galaxy and I used a lot of colors, so I can use a lot of colors of washi tapes as well. Once I have the washi tapes in place, I know exactly where I want to glue my circle, so I'm going to glue it now. And then I'm also going to add some washi tapes on the top left corner. Now you can see that I have a sketch of calendar on the left page and simple July on the right page as well. I'm going to do all of this with a black marker. This is Pigma Sakura fine bold marker. I'm simply making the July calendar on this page in the center where I cut out the circle. Since we use the golden markers for the boundaries of all the geometric shapes, you can also use the golden marker for your calendar to write July or to write the weekdays, but I thought it would be too bright, so I did all of this with a black marker and the dates with the black pointer, and then I simply made a simple line with the golden marker. Also on the right page or the main cover page, I'm writing July with the same bold marker. Also write it very carefully because it's the only thing that is written on your cover page and it's going to look very prominent, so make sure it looks good. Now that I'm almost done with it, the video is coming to an end. I hope you guys liked the video, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.